comes the sun, here comes the sun. I say it's alright. Little darling, it's been a long, cold, lonely winter. Little darling, it feels like years since it's been here. Here comes the sun. Here comes the sun. I say it's alright.
Mom never remarried. She was what, 47 when Dad died?
She wasn't very old.
About 47, because she had Janet when she was about 45.
I thought she was 42 when she had Janet.
How old?
42.
32
42.
when she had Janet.
That's what I always thought. I don't know.
Well, I can figure it out for you. But get that little blue
Go
book
get that
again.
book again, Heather.
Mom was born. Dad was born in 1888. Well, put the lid on it. Maybe it was right. 1888. And he was 6 years older, so Mom was born in 1894. And what are we talking about? Janet was born in 39. I graduated 38, she was born in 39. So that would have made Mom, born in 18. No, I'm more right than you, honey.
Really?
She had to be 45.
Was she really? Oh my gosh.
I thought she was.
God.
And Dad died when Mom was 47, and she never, well, Ed Rohrback would come down, but
I remember seeing them kiss one night out in the yard. I don't know remember what I was doing out there. Bob and I were out there doing something. I remember Mom kissing Ed goodnight, and I thought, I was happy for her. I felt real good. My mom's going to have somebody to, but then it didn't work out.
Why not?
yep, in 1939, Mom would have been 45 years
didn't
old.
wanna get married again.
Dad was born
She
in
had 9 kids, she'd had enough.
39.
What do you remember about your mother's personality? What do you remember about your mother's personality?
Well, Mom was pretty strict.
She didn't laugh a lot.
You think because she was stressed, or was she just that serious?
Well, she didn't have time.
How many kids was minor when Dad died? What was there, 6 of us?
Yeah. I was 21 in August, and Dad died in October of
You were 21. Al would have been
30,
19, right?
yeah.
And Betty would have been 17.
So Mom had 6 minor children. I was the oldest. She had 6 kids to raise.
Well, you weren't the oldest, Ann and Allie. Well, you were the only one at home, though.
Right.
Well,
Like I
my
said,
sister
I was
Jen
the
was only
oldest
2.
at the time.
Mhm.
Mom had 6 minor children.
What did she do to support everybody?
Well, we lived on a farm, and I don't know. She didn't have much money. I don't see. When after I left home, I kind of lost track of the rest of them. I couldn't remember when Dody got married or anything because I was 21 and she's 11 years younger, and I can't remember too much.
How old were you, Aunt Dorothy, when you got married?
19.
I can't remember much about the younger one. I couldn't remember Dody's wedding, and the only one of my sisters younger than me was Betty and Don. I can remember going to theirs, but I couldn't remember going to yours or Eleanor's.
I didn't have one. I went to the preacher's house and got married.
Or Bob's. I don't remember going to
I
Bob's.
remember going to Bob's.
Did you go and you just don't remember it, or did you not go?
I think you
Well,
were
they
there.
didn't have weddings back then. You know,
Bob had
they
a big
just went
wedding.
to
They were married in the Baptist Church in New London.
went and got married at the parsonage or at home. I was married at home. We didn't have a wedding. The minister come to the farmhouse, and my oldest sister and Jack's brother stood up with us, and that was the wedding. We didn't have the money to have a big wedding.
Mhm.
None of us.
I never wanted one. I never wanted a big wedding.
But I couldn't remember Dody getting married.
But I can remember Bob's wedding because of them darn shoes he had. He had
What
a
they
brand new
look?
pair of shoes, and he told me to polish his shoes. Or asked me if I'd polish his shoes for him. And I said, well, they're brand new. And he said, just polish my shoes. So I did. I polished his shoes. I thought, this is stupid. They're already shiny. We put them on, and he said, you didn't polish my shoes. I said, yes, I did. And he said, look at the soles. They're sticking out there. They're brand new. And I said, well, you didn't tell me to polish the soles. He wanted me to polish the soles so they were black when he knelt at the altar so they didn't shine.
Oh.
shoot.
I was talking to shoes the other day, and she was telling
He
about
thought I
that.
was the dumbest thing in the world. That's like,
You know, worst
yeah, I
shoes
know.
are trying to...
I wouldn't have wanted to walk across my
waterproof.
carpet. That polish would have wore off.
I just, it never dawned on me to polish the soles of the shoes.
I remember during the war, I moved back with Mom, and I had that old Chevy.
I remember
And
that.
Al would take that Chevy without my permission, and I used to get so damn mad. Because you know how they took care of stuff, Bob and Al. They railroaded everything. And of course, so fussy me. But he'd take that car without me. I don't know whether they left the keys in it or what. But I get so darn mad at Al.
Did he mess it up? Did he mess it up?
No.
But do you remember that winter that you drove through the tunnel on Route 58 to go to work? When we had that snowstorm?
Oh, girl.
Because I remember
Only one room for one
Yeah.
car. The snow was piled way up.
What year was that? Do you remember? It was during the war.
Let me see, I moved back with Mom in the war. I was married in 42 in May, and Jack left in August. I think it had to be probably, I don't remember being the
43?
first winter.
Was it 43?
So it had to be about 30 or 43 or 44.
I thought it was 43.
If we'd have passed the car, there was no place to go. The car, it was just room for one car
So where did Grandma live when you moved back
on
home
the
with
New
her?
London Eastern Road.
And we walked to
That farm we
Spencer.
stopped at?
Uh-huh.
We walked, Bob and Eleanor and I walked to Spencer one day to get the mail and stuff, and walked on top of the snowdrift, because it was froze. All the
Wow.
way to
I think Bob took the John Deere down to 58 to make a track for me to get to work.
Could have been.
I
I remember that.
Because that one winter, whew, and Bob had gotten sick, and he was in bed. We lived, with that old house there. We slept upstairs. It was so darn cold. And when I come home and went upstairs changing my clothes, Bob said, Marie, would you get me a couple of aspirin or Tylenol? And I went and got them, and when I gave them to him, that kid was burning up. I went downstairs and I said, Mom, Bob is sick. Here he had appendicitis.
Bob did?
Bob, and he managed to get downstairs, and we took him over there to that doctor in Lodi, and he sat in the middle of the car, and he would grab himself, if we hit a little bump or anything. We got over there, and that doctor examined him and said they had operated right away. When they operated, that appendix was ready to burst.
Wow.
And Bob always said to me, Marie, if you had come upstairs, I'd have been gone.
I don't remember that, but I remember
Oh,
Betty.
yeah.
I remember Betty when she had hers. Because
Boy,
she had
Bob.
chronic appendicitis.
The minute
she
I
used to pace
felt-
the floor. She was so scared.
The minute I felt him, when I went to give him probably was aspirin, I knew he had to be sick. To be that hot.
Wow.
And I went down and I said, Mom, Bob is really sick.
See, that's how I was when I had
So
mine.
I don't know whether we said, I
Mine
told her
had
we better
ruptured
get him to
already.
the doctor or what. But,
Is it already ruptured?
yeah, if they had
Is that
operated,
something all you guys have lost your
appendix
appendix?
would burst.
My dad, and that's what my dad died of.
Yeah.
Ruptured appendix.
Yeah.
He didn't go to the doctor. By the time he did, apparently said in his stomach was all bloated up. They couldn't do nothing. They did open him up, but they sewed him
Yeah,
right back.
there was
didn't they?
nothing. See, there wasn't any penicillin back then either.
No,
Not until
The
World
miracle
War II, they got penicillin.
there wasn't no miracle drugs.
There
But
was nothing they could
Bob
do for
always
him.
told me, Marie, you saved my life.
Now, when Grandma,
Once
You wouldn't make it
I
work.
didn't want him. I don't want him somebody sharing my clothes.
My sister
Now,
and I
some
shared a
sisters,
bedroom all of
you
our
know,
lives.
get along with that, but
We
I
shared
just
bedroom.
have my
I
own
like
way
my
of
own
things,
bedroom.
and I still do. You found that out.
Did you share your clothes with any of your sisters?
That's the reason I won't eat live.
We didn't share clothes. We didn't
Wild
we
stuff.
I didn't
didn't
want
have clothes to begin with.
Anything wild.
We didn't
We
want
used
to
to
work
live on
anybody else.
ground, squirrel, rabbit,
I remember.
I'll tell you, Heather,
everything wild.
I'll tell you why.
Yeah.
And you found out being here with Grandma, and you found out before. I have a way of doing things my way.
Really? I didn't know that.
You didn't think that.
Mm-mm.
And I, for some reason, I did not want to share my clothes. I was afraid they wouldn't take care of them like I do.
Mhm. Are any of your other siblings as fussy as you are?
Yes.
Who?
Who? Honey, each and every one of them.
We're all different.
Are you all fussy?
They're all different, but they're
Are you all
they're
particular?
In our
fussy
own
and
way.
particular in their own
But
way.
we're,
I'm glad you told Heather that, because I think she thought maybe it was only Grandma.
Well, I've not been around
No.
Aunt Janet, but yes, all of them. I mean, Aunt Ann had her way, and Aunt Betty, and Aunt Eleanor, and Aunt Dorothy.
Why do you think everybody's so particular?
she's going to write a book on our family history.
Well, I'll tell you one reason. You know, your dad, we were poor. We never, when we were growing up, we never had a nice house. We never had nice furniture. I didn't think. And we never could bring kids at our house because we was ashamed of it. We were poor, honey. And I know your dad, when he, not recently, but I know he said, I've always liked throw rugs, probably to save the carpet. He said, Mom, you act like everything has to last forever. And I said, Denny, if you were as poor as we were when we were kids growing up, you would take care of what you had too, because I thought, boy, I have things pretty nice compared to at home. And I think that's what the reason.
Did you have enough
any
food?
better than I did.
Did you have enough food to eat?
We what?
Did you have enough food to eat when you were growing
I
up?
think we did. It wasn't always what we wanted, but we never went hungry. I can't remember if we were going hungry. Do you?
Did you know
if we
kids
didn't eat
that
what Mom had, we went hungry. But I can't remember if we were going to bed hungry.
Did you know kids that were poorer than you guys?
No. I didn't know anybody any poorer
My
than we were.
mom-
Everybody was poor.
That's one thing.
Yeah.
Mom never made mush, did she? We never. Grandpa Lyle and Grandma Goldie made mush all the time, but we never did.
What's mush?
Cornmeal and
Cornmeal and eggs? I don't know. I've never made it.
cornmeal and I don't know.
Aunt
Water?
used to make it all the time.
It's good for you, whatever it is.
She had to save money.
I never had meat every day, but Mom made homemade bread and rolls and the dinner rolls, I guess you call them. And I can remember we'd come home from school and Mom would have a pan of them rolls and we'd take an onion. I would make an onion sandwich.
Ugh.
Man, that was good, wasn't it, Dody?
You
We
know,
used to eat put lard.
Eat what?
Put lard on our bread
Had the old
because we didn't have
wood
butter.
cook stove,
We didn't
make
care.
these pumpkin
Sometimes we
pie.
put a little sugar on it if we could find
You know,
some
like-
sugar.
Mhm.
whatever we
It
had.
was all right.
Is that all because of the depression?
Then you get that crust on the
Mostly,
top
and
of
the fact that we didn't have a father.
Mhm.
There was no Social Security, there was no welfare. My mother would have taken welfare anyway.
Mhm.
I feel all eat it.
I don't know how she
Like
did
I
it.
said, we didn't have a variety of food, but I can never remember going to bed hungry. But these little piece of side bacon, I don't remember whether you walked with us, but there would be two of us, 2 or 3, when we lived there in Medina, that big old farmhouse. We'd have to walk to Medina to pick up that little slab of salt pork, or mostly fat, during the war. Did you ever walk with us up there?
I remember when Grandma Stahl came out and stayed with us though, and we used to go out and pick up the corn, the
Husk?
no,
corn husk?
the
Stalks?
core of the corn, where the corn grew on, what do you call it? Shoot, I can't remember.
The what?
Well, corn grows, what's an ear of corn? The cob.
Oh, yeah.
Corn cobs. We
Yeah.
would go out and get corn cobs, and that's what we burn in the stove because we didn't have any
Let's
wood.
you start the fire with that.
Really?
We'd
Huh.
have to eat the field corn before it got real big, or sweet corn.
Where'd you get that from? That was on your
Well,
farm?
we planted it.
Why didn't you plant good corn?
We
Huh?
couldn't afford it. We had to plant corn for the animals.
Oh.
We used to go
So
pick
if you got it
wild
enough,
blackberries
you
and
Oh, okay.
strawberry, the wild strawberries, the itty bitty elderberries, anything that
Blackberries.
Mom could make jelly or can, we would pick it.
And she planted a garden there in Wellington, didn't she? See, I can remember that.
If Mom hadn't had a garden, we might have gone to bed hungry
Well, we
many
hadn't been on a
times,
farm, we'd
but
have been
Mom
hungry.
always planted a garden.
For those sashers that one year, I remember that cooking. And Al used to come out when Mom went out to Nebraska for quite a while. It seemed like she was gone for a month.
Well, Dody, though I moved back with Mom, I was married in 42, and I moved back with Mom in August of 42, so you kids had to be home,
Yeah, we was home.
but I can't remember.
I remember you living there.
Did you live at home until you got married?
Huh?
Did you live at home until you got married?
Oh, yeah.
So you weren't gone that long.
But, see, I was only there 3 years, and then, of course, Jack was dismissed from, so I still, from the 3 years I moved back with Mom, I don't remember what happened after that.
Yeah.
But I was only there about 3 years when the war ended. So I just don't remember what the younger one's done.
I remember Al trying to teach me how to drive a car. He'd say, stop by that tree, so I'd aim for the tree. And he'd say, I didn't say hit it. He said, stop by it. He'd get so mad at me.
Who?
Al, trying to teach me how to drive a car.
I don't,
Imagine Uncle Al
I
and
don't
Uncle Bob were
remember-
quite
remember-
ornery.
how I learned to drive.
Al was always my hero. I don't know why, but he was always my hero.
I think
remember-
that old bachelor, when I went down there to Sullivan and worked for that old maid, I think that old bachelor showed me how to drive. I don't know. I don't know how I learned to drive,
I took driver's training then.
but I think
Al went, I was
I think
either in
that
the
old
7th
bachelor
or
showed
8th
me.
grade. when
You know,
Al
it's
went
so
to the
hard.
service. Yeah.
well, 'cause
Why was he your hero?
Zora is Diane.
Why was he your hero?
It's hard to remember.
Well, he had joined the Air Force, and he came to tell me goodbye when I was in school. And he came to school to tell me goodbye. And all my friends said, oh man, he's so good looking. Who is that? And I said, he's my brother. and I remember when I was little, we must have lived in Weymouth or Brunswick or someplace, and I went to school with Al to visit for the day. And I was with him all day long, with my brother, and he was so good to me. I remember that.
Hmm.
And why I went with him and not.
I don't remember how many towns we lived in. I don't know how many. I counted up one time how many different schools I went to.
And you
So
said
wonder
there
I
were
did ever
few.
graduate.
Now, Uncle Al's oldest, older than Uncle Bob.
He's 2 years younger than your mom. 2
See,
years
there
older
was
than Betty.
Ed, my oldest brother, and Ann, and me, and then Al, and Betty, and Bob, Eleanor, and Dody, and Janet. She's next to the youngest.
Well, I knew that.
And the last three were born in Ohio, and I can't remember where.
I was born in Weymouth, that's all I know. And I
You were
can
born
remember
in
Bob,
Weymouth?
or Ed and Uncle
Well, Janet was born in
in Huntington. When we lived in Huntington. She was born there on New London Eastern Road.
Yeah.
I remember that.
and you were born where?
Weymouth.
What about Eleanor? Where was she born? Do you remember?
I have no idea. Maybe she was hatched.
Who were you closest to growing up, Nana?
Huh?
Which one were you closest to when you were growing up?
Well, not my oldest sister by any means. And I was the third oldest. I probably wasn't close to anybody at that time. And then after I was married, I think we were probably closer to Betty. We were up to the farm. Jack and I was up to the farm all the time. Well, then when Betty passed away, I guess I've been closer to Dody then than anybody. I didn't have anybody left.
Who were you double dating with when you were a teenager?
And my oldest sister.
How much
I
older
remember
than you is
2
she?
years.
I remember when
Not full 2 years. It would be by
Uncle
year,
Al's
but not by
little
month.
boy,
Because when
was
Dad
in
was
April,
We got
living,
married in August.
He said we couldn't get married till he was 21.
Or what?
Huh?
Or what?
He didn't say. We just knew
I don't
better than
know,
to
but
ask.
we better wait till he was 21.
We never questioned our mother and dad. We just did what
I
they
was
told us to.
closer to.
Because they would whoop you, or what was the consequence?
We just, I don't know. We never tested them.
We
I
never
didn't.
done anything
boys
to
would. I
find
think
out
that's why.
what the consequence would be.
But the boys would, and I think that's why he was so mean with the boys. But us girls, we never.
We knew better than to open up our mouth to our dad, didn't we, Dody?
We just never did. And my mom, I don't know. I just always had so much respect for my mom that
I never had any trouble with Mom, but I can remember one time she was wailing the daylights out of that
beat the
kid.
crap out of
She
me.
was under the kitchen table.
Why?
I said,
Grandma
"Mom."
was?
Yeah.
I said, Mom, don't hit her anymore. Don't hit her anymore. She was
Gonna
underneath
kill
the
her.
table.
I remember
I don't know
you
what
telling
she
me.
sassed Mom.
Well, see, my brother Bob and my sister Eleanor were like this, and I was the third wheel, so they never wanted me around. So we were doing chores, and I walked in the barn, and it was in the wintertime, they threw a bucket of cold water on me.
Oh, no.
So I went up the house crying, and Marie was in the kitchen. I said, Mom, they threw a bucket of water on me. And she said, oh, get out there and do your chores. And I said, oh, he's your baby. And wham, man, I flew across that kitchen
She
floor.
crawled under the table to get away from Mom.
Oh,
And
man.
Mom still was smacking her, and I said, Mom, don't smack her anymore. I thought she was going to probably kill her. I don't
did my
know.
chores.
Wow, soaking wet.
Soaking wet and beat to death. And,
Oh, I can remember that.
but
I
that's
see
the
I-
only time she ever hit me. But that's the only time I ever sassed her. I just,
Yeah. I never,
just didn't.
of course, like I said, I was afraid of my dad, but I don't think
I
I
was afraid of
ever
my mother after that.
sassed my mother. I tried to, realize she's my mother. I can't remember Mom ever smacking me. The boy, she did that. She didn't want to be sassed, and she sassed her, and that was it. And, I can never, ever remember our mom telling us she loved us or anything, but, she had all them kids, and back then, Dody, I don't think they done it like they do now.
No, they didn't.
Did you know she loved you? Did you feel like she
Yeah.
did?
I knew she loved me.
You felt like she loved you? Did you
Why,
know that she loved you?
Oh, I'm sure we did.
We never thought
But-
about it.
My gosh,
We just
when you
never-
have that many kids, Heather, I guess you don't have time to tell them you love them all the time.
Worried about getting them fed.
Yeah.
But when my kids was growing up, I don't remember them. I remember Scott. When I'd put him to bed, I'd tell him I loved. But I can't remember telling
See,
you
I
kids,
can't
like I
either.
do
We just
now.
we just didn't do it.
You
Did she
didn't
tell
do
you
it
she
that
loved you,
time.
Nancy?
And Denny and I have talked about that
I remember
too.
I think when we were little, we were here. I remember being out here. And I was 10 when we moved out here. Sis was 2, right?
Uh-huh.
I can remember kissing him goodnight.
But we never said I love you.
No, I don't. Uh-uh. And
Are you
then-
scarred, Nancy?
I think so.
But now, of course, my gosh,
No, it just
When
comes
they were
easy.
little.
I don't know. We just never did.
But you tell them more now?
Oh yeah, I tell everybody I love them now. I go to church and hug everybody and tell them I love them.
it just comes out so easy now. Even with other people, when Wanda calls, she'll say, "Oh, I love you so much, Marie," and I said, "I love you too." Even before I got sick down there to the council, special people I liked, I'd always say, "I love you, Betty."
What do you
Love you
think?
this.
What do you think changed?
Huh?
What
I
changed?
think society in general has changed.
The older you get, I guess you realize that love is important. Much more important your kids and family are.
Mm-hmm.
It's just a natural thing. When
What's the name of
Hannah
that
and
book?
Megan was here, I talked so much. I
What's the name of
lost
that book
my
you
voice. I worked at a grocery store. I made $18 a week. Not by the hour, you work by the week.
Mm-hmm.
That's what I made the whole 3 years I worked there. And I can't remember what Mom charged me. was it $3 or $5? Not much, but then on Saturday when we closed the store, all of the baked stuff we could buy half price, you know. So to help Mom out, I'd buy a couple bags of bread or rolls or whatever, and I never let Mom pay me, so it helped a little bit. And then when I had Tuesday afternoon off, I would go home and I loved to clean. I can remember I just wanted to clean the house all the time. And so I helped Mom as much as I could. But like I said, I think $3 a week. I made 18. And then, like I said, I helped her out with groceries and that. But I'll tell you, honey, we were poor. We were mighty poor.
And did y'all make your own clothes? Did Grandma make them?
Mom was a beautiful sewer.
Made them out of feed sacks.
I remember that.
Really?
I
Remember
remember
what?
having some out of feed sacks.
Yeah.
Oh,
Oh,
and
yeah,
her
different
When I
patterns.
was little.
Really?
Mom's sisters were teenagers and they would send Mom clothes and she'd rip them apart and make us clothes over them, ripped apart, put the pattern on them. My mom, you know, Dody, how did that poor thing
I don't
ever?
know. I said,
When I stop and think how
her mother
Mom
died,
had it,
she was tired.
it
She
makes
was
me
ready
want to
die.
cry.
She
How
was
old
just
was she?
tired, 78. And she was just ready to die.
Yeah, she
Mama.
made us
She
pajamas
was
and I don't
tired.
know what all. out
What'd
of
she
feed
die from?
sacks. She would have to.
She had
bleach them
diabetes
out.
and she had a bad heart. But what was I going to say? I was going to say something about what Mom used to make. Well, she used to make our petticoats and everything. And we
Mom,
used to cut out cardboard and put it in our
I
shoes
know,
Mhm.
then
because we had holes
we
in our
had
shoes.
money
Oh,
not
I know
by
what I was going to
feed
say. I wore Anne's
sack,
wedding
but the
dress when
neighbors
I
would
was
give-
in the 8th
give
grade.
some sacks.
I can remember
Or to school.
My mother
when we
made
walked to
her
Sunday
own dresses
school.
and
You
stuff
know, we
like
had to
that.
walk
I
to
was the
get
only
there.
one, but
And I can remember
I
one
think that was
dress in
something
particular that I
nice.
really liked. And people
I
thought, you know, they
adopted
must
them.
be a little bit better off with
Now, did
somebody
your mother
because
make your
Mom
clothes
made our
too?
clothes, you know.
No.
And
I did.
we
I'd
walked
get a pair of
3
socks
miles
for
to go to
Christmas. I'd wear
church,
them all
Sunday
year.
school. and put
Yeah.
little-
That'd be
Maybe
it. That'd be my Christmas.
3-4 pennies in.
Well, that's
That's
what-
all we had. We were lucky if we had them.
Yeah.
We
I
had to
had
walk
one
to
come.
get there.
Mm-hmm.
I remember when
My
my
mother
school
was
teachers
a
Hard time.
beautiful
It was
sewer.
hard time to be with my
Give me a
son.
pair of
Made
shoes
our
one
clothes,
year.
and people
Yeah,
thought
that'd be my Christmas.
because we looked pretty halfway decent that we were one of the
Hey,
luckier
hey.
people to have money, but we didn't have no money.
Double or that's how I went to school.
Mm-hmm.
That was it.
What were you saying,
I wore
Dody?
them all week.
I think I was in the 3rd grade when my teacher gave me a pair of
Okay,
shoes
well,
one
see, I
year.
wear no
You probably
ragged
don't
pair.
remember that.
On weekends,
They were
when I
white
wash
shoes
them,
and they were
I
high
wear 'em all
high
week.
shoes.
Wow.
And they were used, but man, to me they were like new shoes. I remember that like it was yesterday.
I remember in the
Big butcher-
summertime, we would have to go barefoot to save our shoes. And if we got holes in the bottom, why, we would put cardboard in it to make, that's how poor we were, Heather. You don't probably believe it,
I
but
believe it.
if we wore holes in our shoes, we'd have to put cardboard
Now,
in
was
them.
it you said you never had an inside bathroom till you got married?
Oh,
Outside bathroom.
never
Well, I
lived in.
never thought anything about an outhouse. You know, Grandma Goldie had an outhouse, so.
But now, see, Nancy, I don't remember after we moved out from the west whether we lived, but from the time I can remember till the time I was married, I can't, but I don't remember what kind of houses we lived in when we
We
moved.
never
See,
had
I
a-
was only about 6 years old.
We never had a
And I-
bathroom.
I can't remember whether we
We
had
never
a
had
bathroom,
one on
had a
New
bathroom.
London Eastern Road. We never had a bathroom until we moved to Wellington.
So,
I can
so
remember-
after you were married, Nana, and you moved back home, when
Huh?
Gramps went to the war and you moved back home, then you went back to not having a bathroom.
Oh, we didn't have a bathroom, and we had an outhouse.
Yep.
And we'd have to set a tub out in the sun in the summertime, bathe all the little kids, and I don't know then whether we'd bathe in the same water. We had to take a bath out of a,
A wash tub.
Worst time.
yeah. We never had no. From the time I
What'd
can
you do in the
remember.
winter?
Huh?
What would you do in the winter?
We didn't take baths.
Do
very
the
often.
same darn thing. Take a bath,
We wore the same clothes all week.
Really?
heat a pan of water and go back in the back bedroom and holler for somebody to come wash her back and just reach every place else so we could. We went, I was working for that old maid right next door to where Jack's mom and dad lived, and he lived out there with his grandma and grandpa on the farm. And he would come into town, they had a pool room there in Sullivan, and he'd come into town to play pool. And this particular night they had a 10-cent movie over to the high school. And Orma, his sister, and I was going to go to the movie, and so Jack decided to go along. And that kind of sparked up our friendship. Ended up marrying him.
What'd you like about him?
Oh, he was good looking. Was kind of tall, you know, was good looking, and he had manners and polite.
What was the movie? Do you remember what you saw?
Oh my gosh, no. I have no idea. I don't even know what they cost 10 cents to go. But I have no idea. I can't remember.
How long did it take you to fall in love with him?
Oh, we dated. I bet we dated probably a year or two before he gave me a ring. But we didn't do anything exciting because we didn't have money, you know. We'd go to... actually, I can't remember what we did do too much when we dated. Probably just went to a cheap movie or something. I can't remember what we did. But after we got married, of course, and like I said, we was only married from May till August, and he had to go to World War II.
Was it strange when he came back?
Beg pardon?
Was it strange when he came back?
It was like we were just newly married, almost, you know.
But in a good way?
Huh?
In a good way? It was like exciting all over again?
Oh my gosh. When he called that night that the train left him off in Wellington, my knees were shaking so bad. And my one sister, she heard the telephone, and I was expecting him to call because I knew he was coming home. And we jumped in, we had a, I don't know what model or what year Chevy that Jack had bought, you know, after he got out of high school. And Eleanor said, "You want me to drive, Marie?" And I said, "No." And I think my knees shook all the way to Wellington, which was 8 miles from our farm home to Wellington. And when the train went through Wellington, Jack had to jump off because they didn't make any stops, but they slowed up enough that he could jump off. And here he was waiting for us. And, oh, brother, like I said, you know, we weren't married that long that we ever had a chance to feel like we were even married. It was like almost a honeymoon all over.
Where did you go then?
He had, I can't remember, there was a month or 2 weeks furlough. We went to Camp Atterbury, and we hung around there then till he had to ship out again with the other guys and their wives. You know, they came there, and then from Camp Atterbury, then I don't know how, I remember how I got home.
Then how long was he gone that time?
Second time, you know, I can't exactly remember. He come back on furlough because they were going to ship him to Germany. And I think, let's see, back there a month, longer than a month, but I can't remember exactly how long. And then we were in Arkansas waiting for his orders to come, and the war ended. So he didn't have to go. So we come home by train then from Arkansas back to Ashland. I suppose we stayed with, I don't remember whether we got another apartment. I can't remember what we did when, or what kind of a job he got right away. I can't remember that part about it.
How long before you had Nancy?
We were married in 1942, and she was not born till 1947.
Were you super excited?
Oh, my goodness. Yeah.
Was Gramps excited?
He wasn't a little boy, but we ended up with a little girl, and he didn't care after the little girl got here when
I was pregnant with the second time, he wouldn't have cared if we had another little girl, but then we had a little boy. And, Heather, you will never know, if you're not a parent, you'll never know that experience. But that's an experience that you can't describe. You just cannot describe it. You have to go through it to know what it's all about. But, we've enjoyed all three of our... And when Karen come along, see, there was 6 years difference. We didn't kind of plan her, but, oh my gosh, was she ever a joy. And a perfect baby. She weighed 7 pounds, and a beautiful baby. Even the doctor remarked, what a beautiful baby. She was perfect in proportion and not red or anything. A real pretty baby. Yep.
Was Gramps helpful in taking care of the babies? Did he change diapers?
Oh, no. Don't worry about that. He never changed. I don't know whether he might have changed a wet diaper, but never a messy diaper. No way. They'd say messy the whole day.
Did you nurse your babies?
No, I didn't. Once I got back on my feet, I didn't have any milk, so they fussed and fussed. So the doctor just said, well, put them on a bottle. Once I got back on my feet, and busy all the time, I didn't have a whole lot even after when they were born, but I did try to nurse them because they claim that, it's better, but I wished I could have, but I just didn't have enough milk.
Did your sisters come and help you when you had them?
Betty did. My sister Betty.
And then did you go help your sisters when they had theirs?
No.
Because by then you had babies.
I don't know who helped Ann when she had her tube. Of course, Betty never had any. And Betty was always the one that wanted to go when there was a new baby. And then she took Nancy home when, Ann took Denny. She must have taken, how was that? She had one of them when one of the new babies come along, but was it Aaron? It might have been Aaron, because Ann took Denny. Ann took Denny when I had Karen, but who in the world? Betty had one time. Or maybe it wasn't when a new baby. Maybe. I can't remember. You will never know, honey, unless you're a parent. Watch your time.
What would you trade it for?
What would I trade what for?
Being a parent.
I wouldn't trade it for the world. I wouldn't trade it for $1 million. You wouldn't ever trade your family, honey, for anything. Not this person. Some people sell their children and give them away, but once you go through birthing a baby, I don't know how they do it. Not me. That's an experience like nothing else.
What would be your top piece of advice if you had to tell somebody a piece of wisdom?
To love the Lord and love your family. Heather, you don't know when one of them can be snatched away with the snap of your finger. Don't take nothing for granted, honey. None of us know from day to day, and things can happen so quick. They can be out, go on a date, maybe you'd never see them again. You never know. So don't ever take anything for granted.
Yes, I understand that every life must end. As we sit alone, I know someday we must go on. Oh, I'm a lucky man to count on both hands the ones I love. Some folks just have one, yeah, others they got none. Stay with me. just breathe. Practiced all my sins, never gonna let me win. Under everything, just another human being. Yeah, I don't wanna hurt. There's so much in this world to make me bleed. Stay with me, oh, all I see. Did I say that I need you? Did I say that I want you? Or if I didn't, I'm a fool, you see. No one knows this more than me. As I come clean, I wonder every day as I look upon your face. Everything you gave and nothing you would take on. Nothing you would take, everything you give. Did I say that I need you? Oh, did I say that I want you? Oh, if I didn't, I'm a fool, you see. No one knows this more than me. As I come cleaner. Nothing you would take, everything you gave. Oh, hold me till I die, eat you on the other side.
For a moment, caught in between 10 and 20, and I'm just dreaming, counting the ways to where you are. I'm 22 for a moment, and she feels better than ever, and we're on fire, making our way back from Mars. When you only got 100 years to live. I'm 33 for a moment. I'm still the man, but you see I'm there, a kid on the way, babe, a family on my mind. Chasing the years of my life. 15, there's still time for you. Time to buy and time to lose yourself within a morning star. 15, I'm alright with you. 15, there's never a got 100 years to live. Half time goes by, suddenly you're wise, another blink of an eye. 67 when it's gone, the sun is getting high. We're moving on. I'm 99 for a moment. I'm dying for just another moment, and I'm just dreaming, counting the ways to where you are. 15, there's still time for you. 22, I feel hurt to go. 33, you're on your way. Every day's a new day.
If you wait for me, then I'll come for you. Although I've traveled far, I always hold a place for you in my heart. If you think of me, if you miss me once in a while, then I'll return to you. I'll return and fill that space in your heart. Remembering your touch, your kiss, your warm embrace, I'll find my way back to you if you'll be waiting. If you dream of me like I dream of you, in a place that's warm and dark, in a place where I can feel the beating of your heart. Remembering your touch, your kiss, your warm embrace, I'll find my way back to you if you'll be waiting. Oh, I've longed for you, and I have desired to see your face, your smile, to be with you wherever you are. Remembering your touch, your kiss, your warm embrace, I'll find my way back to you. Please say you'll be waiting. Together again, it would feel so good to be in your arms, where all my journeys end. You can make a promise, if it's one that you can keep. I vow to come for you if you wait for me. And say you'll hold a place for me in your heart, a place for me in your heart, a place for me in your heart, a place for me in your heart.